I've always thought I was a storyteller, and my father was a storyteller and loved to tell stories. And so I think through the line of clothing that I am telling stories. And one thing I try to do is simulate beadwork, ribbon work, feather work. I try to incorporate that in the weave structure of the garment. And so that to me is sort of looking at what is there in the tribes and showing how it can be done in a different way. And I've been so fortunate to have been given my history. It was written up by a cousin of my mother's back in the 50s. And so I grew up knowing about Mahota, which is the name of my business. And Mahota was my great-great-great-grandmother who came from Mississippi to Indian Territory in 1844. And we have her whole story. And I just feel very gifted that I have that kind of ancestry and that it's known to me as I was growing up. And so that kind of thing's got a real emotional pull to me. And I love doing things with stories. We're here at the Brady Craft Alliance is sponsoring the show. I use all natural fabrics. I mainly cotton, and all my fabrics up to a point are from the United States. And what I wanted to do was do a convergence, more or less, of the two, the Europeans and the Native Americans coming together, and what happened to fashion when they were trading back and forth, and see what they took from the Europeans and what the Europeans took from the Native Americans, so that they created a style that was purely America. So what I hope I accomplish from this is to give people sort of an education on the history of Native American garments, and also how I've adapted that to my style of design and the hand wovens, and how I've placed the designs where I want them in the cloth, and a lot of imagination also. I grew up on Indian school campuses where my father was a school administrator of Native Indian schools, Bureau of Indian Affairs. And so we lived in the north, Montana, with the Blackfeet tribe. So I've seen the upper plains. We were in Washington with the Nespelem, and I have a Nespelem girl costume that was taken by Edward Curtis. So I was sort of raised with different tribes. We were on the Navajo for a short period of time. My husband and I lived on the Navajo when he graduated from college. So I've been exposed to a lot of different tribes. I have been asked by the Haida, one of the designers there, that I not borrow their designs, which I've really honored, and I try to make sure that what I'm doing is accepted by the tribe that I was depicting. But it really has changed a lot in probably the last 5 years, in that I am now working with the Chickasaws more in my tribe, and really focusing on Southeastern and what we were doing. And I just finished a production called Lowak Shopala with the tribe, and I did all the costumes, and I took the costumes from from mound builders, the Mississippians, and what they were wearing at that period of time, and it was really fascinating to go back and do that. So it's sort of coming home for me, and now I'm really concentrating on what my people did and what kind of clothes they were wearing.